Alright guys, Tuesday, January 22nd, and just after 7:30 p.m. And cold in the garage tonight. We're only about 3 degrees Celsius, so about 35, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyway, I don't think we're going to be out here for too long tonight. Really what I want to do is I want to, unfortunately, I want to take the hard top off and the backlight off. I do have some more welding to do. As I recall that we made some modifications over on this side at the top of the V-post, where we made a bit of a slice to help with the fitment of the Surrey top, and that needs to be welded up, so the backlight's got to come off. So like I said, I'm really enjoyed just having the top and the windscreen on and the backlight on. Kind of definitely makes it look more like a car. Anyway, I think the time has come to take that off and to store it away, and hopefully we'll get it back on the car fairly soon, but really it served its purpose as far as getting it fitted. So again, I think we'll probably play it safe and bring it back in the house so it doesn't get damaged. So we'll go ahead and we'll take that off and store the hardware away safely, and we'll bring it out when we're ready for it. Alright, like I said, it's going to be a quick night out here, so I've got the backlight off and the hard top off, and car's back and looking a little forlorn. Just for kicks, I brought out this bar, and again, this is for the soft Surrey section, and if you recall, I got those thumb screws from Rimmer, so I thought I'd try them out, and of course they are too short. So we'll have to come up with another solution for those thumb screws. We'll have to make our own versions of them at some point. I think what I'll do for the rest of the night is I'm going to bring my old rear taillight bags inside, and we'll investigate these a little bit more and see how close they are to the reproduction ones, or the reproduction one that I received from Rimmer's. And we'll just go through and we'll maybe clean up some parts inside. I'm going to try to get these studs out. As I mentioned, you can see just below the light here, the new lights didn't come with these little studs, so I'm going to try to get these out of here. They don't look like they're fixed actually in there. They do look like they're a specialized piece, so I'm going to actually try to get a little my little rubber hammer out, and we'll put a nut on the back and see if we can pound those out, because I'm going to need those because the new lights didn't come with them. So it's a good project for tonight. We'll take that in on the coffee table, watch some TV, and just take apart these lights. So we're just inside and playing around on the coffee table, and we've got the old and the new lights side by side. I'm just looking at little things like the lenses, the original Lucas lenses versus the reproduction lenses. They're quite different actually. I don't know if you can see the pattern, the vertical pattern on this one, and then on this one is really just a round pattern, so quite significantly different as far as the look is concerned. Top wise as well, again you got more of a vertical pattern there, and circular pattern there, and definitely just the weight of the pieces, the weight of the lenses, significantly different versus, as same with the bodies. The bodies of the originals are so much heavier than this cheap, you know, probably Taiwanese or Chinese. Fortunately, they look pretty close as far as the shape is concerned. They're pretty significantly different on the insides as far as the bulb mounting. So here's the original, and I'll show you the reproduction one here, so you can see how different the interiors look on these lights as well. Anyway, we're going to pull these studs out, as I mentioned. These ones that actually attach the light to the body tub. So I've got my little TR250 hammer here that Cut Room sent me a while ago. So we're going to use these to tap those studs out. Carefully, we're going to put a nut on them and tap them out, and we'll utilize them in the new housing once we get those out and cleaned up. Alright, that's it for tonight. So this is our project for tonight. Just play around with the old lights and rescue as many parts as we can from them before they are put somewhere never to be seen again. Like I said, the housings are pretty cracked up, so these are really non-functional except for use as parts. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, there they are. Those are the parts I need from the old lights. So we'll get those all wire brushed up and looking good. Maybe a little bit of WD-40 on those to clean them up. I did get new nuts with the last order, so I'm missing a couple here. But we'll replace the old ones with new nuts and new washers, and we'll be all set to go. Alright guys, welcome back. Wednesday, January 23rd, just after 8 p.m. And kind of an odd day weather-wise outside today. We're actually at +5 Celsius for most of the day. We had quite a bit of snow overnight up here, and then the rain sort of melted most of that, and now we're supposed to go back down to a deep freeze, so might be an interesting drive in the morning with all that water freezing on the road, so it should be fairly icy tomorrow. Anyway, we're back out here tonight, and we are going to pick up where we left off. And if you recall, yesterday I removed the rear backlight from the car, and we've got this little bit here to weld up, so I figured I'd come out here tonight and do this. That'll be my hour of power tonight, and we'll probably call it a night after that, but I figured I'd come out here and at least do that and scratch that off the list. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll bring it back once it's welded up. Alright guys, that part is all stitched up, so I guess while I'm here, I've been neglecting this piece here that we need to fit back up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a reinforcing plate in behind it, because you won't see that plate anyway, and then we'll join these two pieces together and stitch them up. So we'll put a little piece of metal in behind and tack it in. Alright guys, so that's all welded up now. We'll just grind that down. I don't think that's going to be going anywhere. So we've got the plate in behind, and then plug welding just seamed across the center. So yeah, that's looking pretty solid, I think. So we'll grind that down and call that good, and we'll move on somewhere else. Alright, so we've got this area all ground down now, and I think it's looking not too bad. Just a little bit of body work there and we'll be good to go. And we've got that all ground down now there. So I think that's good to go. So we've accomplished what we want to do for tonight. So we'll call it a night, and we'll get back out here tomorrow. Alright guys, welcome back. Thursday, January 24th. Again, 7:15. I think that's what time I started last night. Anyway, turn Van down a little bit, and we'll figure out what we're going to do tonight. I think I had mentioned that I was going to do the stripping the passenger side rear fender on the interior, but I think we're going to change gears, and we're going to set up to finish welding this extension here on the driver's side rear fender to match the length of the fender. If you were following the red fender fiasco, the red fenders are actually longer than the body tub, and they're as far forward as they can go, and they match the door opening perfectly. But they were about probably a little over a quarter inch too long on the fenders. So what we're going to do is extend the body tub out to match the fender where it should be. So we welded in this piece already, just tacked it in. So we're going to do a little bit better job on this tonight, and we're going to actually finish this off. Finish weld this and grind it. We also need to do the same sort of thing on this side, except all we're going to do here is put a piece of metal on the face of this. I don't know if you can see that. Just on the face of that, because we've got just a very little gap to pick up. So I think we'll put a piece of maybe 16 gauge sheet metal in there, and we'll just trace the contours of that out and just tack the face right on there. So anyway, we'll figure something out for that side, but let's endeavor to finish this side first, and we've got a good start on it, so let's finish that up. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. It needs a little body work obviously, but I don't think it looks too bad. You see that? Well, it looks pretty good. So like I said, a little body work, a little fiberglass here, a little Bondo. Should be good to go. So I think we're happy with that. I'm definitely not happy with the height of the fender here, so I think I'm going to do what I mentioned and make a slice and bring that fender down while I can. I'd rather do that than have to Bondo up the fender. So I think we'll do a slice and dice here and bring the edge of that fender down, actually the edge of the body tub while we can. Okay, here's what I'm trying to fix on the passenger side, and it's really just is that about 1/8 of an inch or less. So we're going to create a template here and cut a piece of sheet metal just to lay it along the face here. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that so you can see what I'm talking about. and we'll grind off. There's a little tiny bit of Bondo here that we've got to clean up, so we'll get that sitting flush against the face here. So we'll take this fender off and we'll come back. Okay, here's the idea. It's a piece of 16 gauge, and I'm going to do this in sections, but what we're going to do is just going to add a little piece of 16 gauge, and we're going to tack that in there all the way around. So we'll weld it on the back side, and we'll grind that down flush with where it needs to be. So we're going to tack that in there. Maybe we'll come back and show you when it's tacked in before I do the grinding. I know it's hard to see. Trust me. Okay, I know it's a little hard to see, but there's the first piece just tacked in there and ground down to follow the contour of the fender. So we're going to run a bead of weld in the groove here that's left, and then we'll grind that flush. So we're going to continue this down now. I'm not sure how far, probably down to here where this line starts to disappear. So we'll create another little strip of metal to come down to about here, and it'll eventually just fade out. So that's the plan anyway. So we'll continue on with our little tacking and strip process, grinding down, and then we'll, like I said, we'll fill that in with weld and then grind it down flush. So that's the plan. Oh, here's what it looks like along the top. So it's pretty good as far as meeting the fender gap, just with that piece of 16 gauge in there. All right, that's the plan. All right, guys, the second piece is now tacked in. And of course, we'll go back and we'll clean up these tacks on the front here, and the weld will just be on the back. So anyway, that's looking pretty good. So again, we've got a little bit of a gap to fill here, which is good. We'll fill that with weld, get good penetration there. So we're gonna do one more small piece and fade that down to the bottom here. So I've got a little piece cut here. So we're just gonna clean that up, weld that in, grind it down, and then we gotta go back obviously and do all the finish welding, but making progress anyway. All right, guys, the strip is now tacked in on the back side. So I think we're gonna call it a night out here. It's just coming up to 9:30. So we'll call the night, and we'll get back out here tomorrow night and finish this up and grind this down, and we'll show you the finished project tomorrow. All right, guys, welcome back. It's Saturday, January 26th, and just coming up to 1:45. And back on the TR250 project today. We've got a couple hours to spend out here in the garage. Got the company coming for dinner, so can't spend too much more time than that. So I figured what I'd do today is I'd come out here. Let me just scoot around here. Not that easy, not a lot of room at the end of the garage here. And we'll continue working on this area back here where I was putting that piece in for the rear tail light. So what I think I'll do is I'll take the fender off, as I don't definitely want to not weld the fender to this repair piece. So we'll take the fender off and we'll continue to finish weld this area back here, and that'll probably be all I get done for today. But I'd like to get this project finished up before I've got to go and start working on dinner. All right, guys, we've got that piece welded in there successfully and ground down. Doesn't look too bad. Again, just a little bit of body work required. So we're going to fit the fender up and see how we did as far as the stick out is concerned. So we'll come back after we bolt the fender back up. All right, guys, you can see that the stick out's been taken care of. That looks pretty darn good as far as the line is concerned. So yeah, I guess we'll call that done and dusted, and we'll move on to another project area. I think I'm still going to fix this area over here with the top of that fender. Top of the body tub actually being a little higher than the fender. We'll cut that and move that down, but I think that's going to be for another day. As I mentioned, I've got company coming, so I think we'll call it a day out here, and we'll get back out here when we can. It's going to be a little sporadic for the next month or so because I've got a busy work schedule, so we'll get out here when we can, but that might not be very often within the next month and a half. So I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.